Hello, everybody. So let me go ahead and start on Instagram as well. Let me also go ahead and post the link of the live to the Patreon so they can join us over here. We have quite a bit to talk about today. Quite a bit. Okay. Copy. How was everybody's week? I know last week was a hot mess. A total hot mess. But we're doing better. I feel like we're doing a lot better this week. Last week, if you watched my election day astrology video, it was pretty much on the money as far as like the energy and how it just lingered, extended. Saturn had a huge play when it came to even the we're gonna get into the like politics of it all, but even with the energy of like the mail-in ballots and the time and how long it was taking and all this time, I'm just like, okay, Saturn's just trolling a little bit. Saturn was definitely trolling quite a bit. But definitely let me know in the comments how your week was. Definitely want this live to be a little bit of a releasing kind of live because I do feel like there was a lot of tension. There was a lot of like energies. There was just a lot of stuff going on. So let me just post this on the live on the Patreon so they can join us, and then we're gonna get started. And then let me just get the live going on here on the gram. Might have to fix the camera a little bit. Yeah, I think that's good. Hold on, let me just move you guys up just a little bit. Oh, sorry. Okay. Move the table out, and that should be good. Whew. Okay, so let's just start it on Instagram as well so everybody can just join in and we can start talking about the energies and what happened. So what happened? I feel like that's the first question. What happened last week? Last week was a very socially driven day. Even if you tried to ignore it, you were very much still taken aback, like a couple notches from the energy. Oh, thank you. Loving the fro girl, thank you. Yeah, I'm finally starting to let my hair out again because I've had it like pretty much wrapped up and twisted up for the like, because this whole year was like such corona filled year and people like love to try to stick their dirty nasty fingers into my damn hair, and I do not like that. So I wrapped it up this year. I'm like, no, nobody's touching my fro. Nobody is touching my fro this year. So yeah, I just recently started just doing like some deep conditioning just to make sure it's still healthy and good. So yeah, I decided to start letting it be out and fluffy and up in its glory. It grew quite a bit. It's actually pretty long. I have it like tied right now, but it grew quite a bit. If you've seen my fro like in person or from before, it has grown. It has grown. This is like I want to say 6 years in the making of length. It's a lot. It's definitely a lot, but thank you. So last week was a lot of anxiety. It was a lot of emotions. It was a lot of energies. It was a lot of people. It was a lot of intention, even if you didn't realize it, because people had like if you saw the way the country was pretty much split in half with the voting and everything, it was like it was like one intention trying to go against the other. a lot. And if you're in one of those states that was like a swing state, I know you guys felt it. Shout out to Stacey Abrams for really registering over 800,000, okay, 800,000 people, specifically Black people, to vote. And they did for this election, and they really flipped Georgia for the first time in like, I think it was like 14 something years. I believe it was, it's 1992. Like, no, that's actually more than that. Wow, like 24 years, something like that. So shout out to her. All the, like, literally, it's just been this whole election. I believe it was like 91% or 98% of registered Black women voted for Biden, and it was like 80% voted of Black men voted for Biden. The numbers were insane. Like, the numbers, looking at everything, it was pretty insane. Like, I was really pleasantly surprised. And I felt like oh, had to sneeze. I felt like everything was just reaching different milestones. That's what last week felt like. It was a whole entire month, to be honest. I was like at work like the whole entire time. I had like one day off in between. And the next day when I was at work, I was waking up to go to work, and that's when Georgia and Pennsylvania flipped, like turned like blue. Then I was at work, and everybody at work is like feeling pretty good. And then pretty much on the Saturday, I was working and I was on the floor. I was pushing out I was pushing out onions, and I'm just like, you know, on the floor. I was on the floor for like 2 hours just pushing out onions. And then somebody, apparently the customers were telling the person on register, and the person on register was telling the person I was doing like getting like the baskets and like the carts and stuff. And then the person, like, it just kept going around the store. Like, the news started migrating, and then everybody was starting like to flip out. It was like, and then somebody came up to me and elbowed me like, yo, we won. And I was like, what? So it was definitely, it was a lot. It was a lot of social anxiety. It was a lot of social uproar. I feel like a lot of people were feeling a lot of different ways about it. But ultimately there was a lot of love, I think, passed around. I mean, if you're, I'm like in the tri-state area, so we pretty much vote Democratic over here. So we were all kind of majorly on the same page. But I am assuming if you were in one of those states, it could have been a little bit dangerous for you to go outside. I know Brooklyn was lit. It was turned up. It was crazy. People were popping champagne. I saw a video on Twitter of Spike Lee popping champagne in the streets. It was pretty amazing. But I think now we got to talk about the astrology of it all, because there's a couple of things happening, especially in December, that are going to change the energy and switch the narrative over. And we've mentioned this a couple of times, but in December, okay, Jupiter and Saturn move into Aquarius, which is a huge shift. Because if you notice, this year has been very politically driven. It has highlighted a lot of things. I feel like 2020 came to a crescendo, highlighting a lot of issues that we have in the country, including, like, you know, healthcare being attached to your job, healthcare period with the, you know, pandemic, money, who gets it, the economy, like who gets the money, who gets more money, like are we just going to fund small businesses and not fund the people so they can sustain these businesses? Like, all of these two different types of issues came to, you know, arise as like Saturn just kind of put it on blast, like, hey, you guys want me to leave Capricorn energy, but then you haven't addressed X, Y, Z, B, and especially with the president that we had, who is straight up trash literally throughout the whole pandemic playbook, and just decided to do whatever he wanted. It was a really crazy year. We lost a lot of people. We are still estimated to lose 400,000 people because of Corona by, like, I think it's like December, which is a really crazy number. Or by the time Trump leaves office, that's like the estimation. That is really crazy. It's crazy to think that that's life, you know what I mean? So because we're about to start transitioning into this Jupiter in Aquarius energy and then Saturn in Aquarius energy, is going to be something else. 2020 was as bad as it needed to be because Jupiter was in Capricorn. It was really supporting Saturn. It was saying, okay, Saturn, we see that you've been giving some karma here for quite a long time. And this whole election was karma, for those who didn't notice. Not only did he lose the popular vote, but he definitely lost the electoral vote by like 2 points, because by the time he finishes this, it's gonna be like 306 points, and he won last time by 304. So it is like some really petty karma going on politically right now. But it has been a lot of karmic justice to the people. It's been a lot of like protests. It's been a lot of like, hey, you guys need to vote. Different communities need to vote. The Navajo country really came out in Arizona, and they literally flipped Arizona. Like, it's been like indigenous communities, it's been black people, black women, literally the whole entire election. It's been like the changes have come from a lot of minorities, and it's just been beautiful to see how we've taken kind of the power back and started to influence some of, you know, the stuff that's going on with society. So when it comes to Saturn, if you noticed, Jupiter was in Capricorn the entire year, okay, of 2020. And so Jupiter has been pretty much, it amplified what Saturn was already doing with Capricorn, because a lot of the past stuff in the past 3 years have come to pass. Dude got impeached, like all of the things that happened were happening, but they took their time. And then 2020 happened, and it's like every single week, every single month, it was different. It was impactful. It was like out of this damn world. And so when we have Saturn now moving into Aquarius, and then having Jupiter say, hey, I'm going to hold your hand for the entire year, is going to change what next year looks like. I honestly predict right off the bat that next year we're going to have some of the most fastest laws, like being really reactive to what people need, probably faster than we've had it in the past for even maybe 12 years. I predict that Biden is really going to rein in on some of the issues that need to be reined in pretty quickly, on almost not, I'm not saying like on an FDR level, because FDR was crazy. This dude passed like 100 bills in his first 100 days of office. It's like I can't remember the whole the story, but I know he, like, with his first 100 days of office, he like passed like over 100 bills. It was like crazy. And he's really the president that started all of the services to the people program, sending checks to the people, starting like the food stamps and stuff like that, trying to support the people. Like, he really was the one. He was like, first 100 days, let's go. He would go into like Congress and go scream at politicians like, you better be on my side, because we need to get this out right now. Like, like FDR was, he was working. This dude was working. Like, say what you will about FDR, homeboy has a lot of issues, but he got to work when it came to working for the people. And I do feel like I feel like next year it's gonna have a little bit of that energy, especially because all of the issues, we're doing a lot of reversals right now. And Biden already said, I am going to executive order a lot of the things, like DACA. He's protecting DACA, right? Like, on the first day, they already started releasing stuff that's gonna just like come to pass right away. And I do feel like 2021 will have a sense of urgency. I do feel like it's gonna have, because Jupiter will be in Aquarius, and Jupiter is that planet of expansion, and luck and opportunity. It's like, really, like, did you learn? Because Jupiter is also about education. It's about you knowing why you need to make the steps that like, why you're taking the steps that you are taking, like why you really needed to go on that route. And that's really what's happening with Jupiter and Aquarius, is saying, okay, you learn from the past, you have studied the past, this is what the past 4 years have looked like, this is the things that were reversed, this is how it hindered people, this is how it helped other people, and this is how we need to change the narrative now. We now need to, and he already said it, he's focusing on racial inequality, he's focusing on the coronavirus, which is a big deal. And I'm assuming that has to do with the stimulus check that we have literally been owed, okay, for like months now. He's gonna have to pass an economic stimulus something. I am very, very curious to see how the income tax season is gonna look like next year, because y'all, a lot of people are not gonna get a lot in tax returns. It's just not gonna happen. So how are things going to look like, and how fast are they going to react to the things that are happening. I do feel like the shifts are going to be happening, and they're going to be happening very quickly. And we're going to have the energy of progression, and it's almost like if you have a complaint, let me hear it because I want to fix it. And that's really Aquarius energy. Is like it pulls away, it says, okay, this is a concern, what is the best way to address this? And because Saturn's gonna have that Jupiter high, like pushing it through for the first year, while Saturn is doing its return into Aquarius, it's gonna boost it. If you are a Saturn in Aquarian child, human person, camera thing, then you are going to start off your solar return pretty boldly. It's definitely going to be on fire. I definitely recommend you guys checking your transits, because having Saturn and Jupiter in the same sign, if you didn't pay attention through 2020 and saw all the things that came to pass as quickly as they did, because Jupiter's a very quick moving planet, then you will see more of that happening even faster next year. And the reason why I say even faster is because Aquarius is an air sign. Air moves faster than Earth. We've been in Earth energy for the past couple of years. Jupiter has been in Capricorn for this year. Capricorn, while it moves, is a cardinal sign. It still is the slowest moving cardinal sign because it is Earth moving. It's an Earth sign. However, Aquarius, even though it's ruled by Saturn, co-ruled by Saturn, co-ruled by Uranus, it is still an air sign. It moves faster. Words move faster. Communication moves faster. The mind moves a little bit faster. Technology moves a little bit faster. You're going to see a lot of developments all over. Everything that Aquarius rules, you'll see a lot of development there, including in any new technologies that are about to come up. Things are going to just look way different. And because we're in the age of Aquarius already, it's just gonna push it to the next level. Like if you think that we're not on the next level, we haven't been, we've been stuck in the past, Jupiter in Aquarius and Saturn in Aquarius is gonna take it to the next level. Like it's an elevation of consciousness, and that's really how I see it, because Aquarius also rules the crown chakra. And I've mentioned this before on the YouTube, and you guys know this. Saturn rules both the root chakra and the crown chakra, because Capricorn rules the root chakra and Aquarius rules the crown chakra. So that connection from crown to root is very Saturnian energy. And it's just been a lot of different things developing within the past few years. And so you see how now that Capricorn's about to hand the, flag off to Aquarius, how things are going to start shifting, how things are going to start progressing. And I do feel like things are about to get, it's about to get real, and it's about to get real fast, like fast. Like I see it, I see things moving, I see things shifting quickly. Like it's not a slow transition. It's not a like things are taking 3-4 months to come to pass. No, I think what Trump really did, and where a smaller percentage of his legacy will be at, is the fact that he was able to really, because he's an air sign, he was able to dictate and change things really quickly. A lot of the times even his own administration would find out some of his policies through his Twitter, because he'll just be like, no, I'm not doing that, and then he'll just tweet it out, and then they'll have to not do that later on. But because of this, I do think that that's going to leave an imprint on the Biden administration. I think that where he would have maybe moved slower, now he might have a little bit more of a fire to move and address things a little bit faster, because they're going to be, it's like there's a healing that's going to come to the media as well, because the media have had to suffer all of this fake news and all this stuff, all these labels and this bullying that this president has done to them for a long time. And now the Biden administration, they're going to look at him with like, can we trust you? What are you going to do? Can we question it? Like, what's happening? How long is this going to take? I do feel like a lot of the culture of it all is going to shift, because Aquarius rules society itself. It rules those connections, those friendships, the way we come together. Because it rules that energy, you're going to see that shift in the narrative, and that includes a relationship that we have with the media. That includes that includes the energy that we have with our friends, with our families, with our government, with our elected officials. There was a record number of like women elected this year into the House, into the Senate. There's like a record number of like LGBT people of color, like all like from all areas just getting elected. And I do feel like the next few years is just going to keep coming to pass. You're going to see more of that continue to happen. And I wouldn't be surprised if by the time that the 4 years are over, things look a little bit different. Because throughout most of Trump's presidency, Saturn was in Capricorn. And so a lot of the politics, a lot of the old ways of doing things, a lot of the things that we're hiding or birthing within the Republican Party that people really, would speak little of, but then, oh, they had these beliefs, but they would be kind of like tongue-in-cheek about it. Trump brought to the forefront, and he said, this is who I am, this is what I am. And his base just said, oh, racism, let's do it. And so because of that reaction, Saturn will be in Aquarius for Biden for 3 years of his presidency. That's a big deal. That's a long time. If you didn't notice, that's a long time. That's close to the majority of his presidency. And so obviously there is going to be that shift, and I do believe that it's going to be an upgrade from the before administration to the next one. And I do feel, I think I see that as a benefit, because Aquarian energy is just so much, it's just so much highlighted in the collective. And I do feel like collectively, I know there are those that have been feeling like we've been in a spiritual war for a long time, and we definitely have. And you can see it in the chart. It's literally in the chart. But for the most part, it's important right now for us to work with the energy that's coming. Definitely work with that Capricorn energy while it's still here. Please plan accordingly. Plan for a long term, plan for the next 5-10 years. I keep saying this to you guys because I don't want you guys to miss out on the opportunity of getting it right, working with the times, making sure that you are doing the best for you and setting yourself up for success, because that's Capricorn energy. And then moving into Aquarian energy and saying, okay, with this intention that I have set, how am I going to allow it to level me up? How am I going to allow it to upgrade me, to change my perspective, to change my circumstance, to change my location, to change my home space? Like how do I evolve through this now? That is really, really, truly the question. And I do feel like we're moving into a different time. I love that right now, Sun is in Scorpio, Moon is in Virgo, Mercury is in Libra, Venus is in Libra. The Libra energy, if y'all haven't noticed, okay, the Libra energy has been doing a lot of really karmic justice right now. Even with the squares, even with the, oppositions that it's, been happening here and there, there has been a lot of justice energy coming out. There has been a lot of vindication. There has been a lot of like liberation. A lot of people, if you notice, they took that really deep breath, they were dancing in the streets. All of that energy that spreads. And I keep trying to mention this to you guys about the collective energy, because it's going to come into play for the next 3 years moving forward, especially next year, because Jupiter will be in Aquarius. Having that understanding how others affect you, how the collective affects you, it's not just about you having your own personal power, but understanding how the collective comes together to have power itself and then hold power. It's really important to understand your place in that, because if you dismiss your possibility of just even you trying to block yourself out from everybody else, you'll start feeling certain ways and not understanding why, because you're not looking at the collective. You're not looking at how others are feeling, how the how your block is doing, how your area is doing, how your neighbors are doing. You can literally sponge up and pick up energies that you might not even understand and be like, oh, I don't know why I'm tense. I don't know why I'm feeling this way. I was feeling fine before, and now I walked in and this is how I'm feeling. Like, what's going on? The collective is gonna be we're gonna be impacting each other more than ever within the next upcoming years. And there's a lot of things at play, but that Mercury in Libra and that Venus in Libra energy has been straight up karmic straight up karmic. If you look at what's going on in the news, if you look at even Stacey Abrams, for example, because she did lose that election because of those there was lack of votes and lack of representation and lack of those of the community voting. So she literally helped sign up over 800,000 people, black people, to vote, and then they literally flipped the state because of her. Like, that's karma. You just lost the election because of a whole bunch of nonsense, and then you come back, you get to work. Okay, Capricorn energy, you put the work in, you get people registered, you're like, this is important, let's get out to vote, and then you are the reason why the state flips. If you think that's not karma, you is crazy. Okay, as a child of Saturn himself, I can say that is straight up karma, and that is the sweet sense of just irony that there ever was. So I feel like, and even with Cindy McCain, who like had definitely had a huge impact in Arizona, including with all of the indigenous community, but the fact that she did endorse Joe Biden, John McCain was beloved in Arizona because that was his home state. And so watching Trump trash him for years and years and years, and then having Arizona flip, you've been trashing the whole damn state for like years, and then it flips, and then you mad talking about recount the votes. Like, the sense of irony and the sense of karmic justice that has been going on, it's not for nothing. I don't want you guys to dismiss it. I don't want you guys to think that, like, you know, there wasn't a purpose, or, you know, that justice wasn't going to happen. Justice is happening. Libra energy is being used to the highest point right now. And so the best that we can do right now is continue to work with that energy, continue to make sure that justice has been not only given but also recognized. There's a reason why Mercury is in Libra right now, that we're also communicating justice and being aware of that justice energy, being aware where, you know, something is due when credit is due, when credit is due. And, you know, it's really important for us to have a higher sense of awareness right now with everything that's going on. Mars is also in Aries, in retrograde still. It will be going direct on the 15th for the new moon in Scorpio, which I already did a video about, so definitely make sure you check that out on the YouTube. But I do feel like that specific new moon is going to be powerful just because Mars wants out. I feel like Mars feels like it's been in a cage for since the beginning of the retrograde, and now it wants out. It's like tense. And I do feel like when Mars goes direct, you're gonna see a little bit more tension in regards to being a little bit more action based, and you will see that both politically, and you might see that both, you know, in a physical sense. I know that there are some, you know, MAGA supporters that are trying to do a 1 million like protest, 1 million people protest something in the streets in some, I don't know which state is in, but definitely make sure that you're staying aware of what's happening around your state, so you are, you know, safe and protected, and you're not, you know, end up bumping into some crazy people. But it is a very, very crazy time. It is a very intense time. It is a very sensitive time, but it is a time of justice. It is a time for more than just what we've been through for these past few months. More than all of that, it is time for us to be so much more better than we have been in a long time, and it's just necessary. It's a necessary part of the process. Jupiter, Saturn are still in Capricorn, is still direct. Uranus is in Taurus retrograde. Neptune is in Pisces in retrograde. Pluto is in Capricorn and is direct. Chiron is still in Aries in retrograde. So there's still a lot of healing to be done. There's still a lot of things pent up, and I do feel like the anger is going to come out. One of the things I first said when I learned that, you know, Biden won, right off the bat, I was like, somebody needs to take his nuclear codes away. I literally said that because, listen, Mars is retrograde right now, but when it goes direct, I don't trust this dude. I don't trust this dude at all. I feel like he would be the one to be really, really petty and do something really stupid that can get people killed. He has already killed so many people with coronavirus. But I am a little bit worried about what that looks like, to be honest. because I do not trust that dude. I do not trust Trump to any capacity. And I do feel like when Mars goes direct, he might be fighting a little bit more with power than, you know, feeling like he's restrained. Because I do feel like, to an extent, I feel like he's trying to, I don't know if you guys saw this news story where, whatchamacallit, when it comes to what he said, he literally said he was going to barricade himself in the, like, in the White House, and that the Secret Service will have to, like, pull him out of there. He literally said that. Like, he literally said that. You can literally look it up. Like, he said he was gonna barricade himself in. And there was a news story that came out that his kids are trying to tell him that he lost, like trying to, you know, each one go in and talk to him about it. So it's just, it's kind of like, it's a weird energy right now, because he's not actively still using the power that he has within the presidency to do stuff. But I do feel like he could, when Mars goes direct, just because when Mars goes direct, you have that restriction feeling lift a lot of the way. You feel like you're able to really move forward and progress, and not feel like you're taking a step like 5 steps forward and then ending up 20 steps back. So it is a very powerful shift that's about to happen, and I do feel like some people are going to misuse it, because Mars energy is warrior energy. Okay, this is, and it's in Aries. Like, Aries is the warrior sign. Aries is a warrior sign. Aries is the one that goes to battle. Aries is the one that initiates that, you know, that battle. Mars is the planet of passion, drive, war. When you get mad, you are getting mad through Mars. Is your Mars sign that's getting mad. Like, you are actively using your Mars sign to communicate your anger. Like, my Mars is in Sag, so when I get mad, because it's a mutable sign, I go from 0 to 100 real quick. Like, I'm able to really flow in and out of it, like like super fast. And when I'm fighting with someone, when I'm having those conversations, the way I argue is very knowledgeable, because Sagittarius is a very knowledgeable sign. And so I usually, and the other thing about having Mars and Sag is that I get lucky when I'm fighting with people. So I'll know how to get the other person to, like, shut up because they know they're wrong, or I'll know how to even hurt someone. I'll know just what to hit, and that's also my Scorpio energy. But I'll know exactly, like, shooting that arrow, and being like, no, you're wrong and this is why, and then actually being correct and having the other person be like, wait. That is something that I carry because my Mars is inside. So I get very lucky when I fight with people. It's a very interesting interesting thing, but it also makes it so I am very, you know, I'm very studious. I'm very open to learning, and I seek a lot of different perspectives. So Mars being in Aries right now, Aries is like, can we think later and act right now? Aries is in the moment. Aries shortens a lot of, like, if Aries had to write a book, it would be about a fourth of what it should have been. It would be about a fourth down. It would be a summary. Okay, because Aries likes to get to the point. It likes to, even when they talk, when someone, like, for example, when they have like a Mercury in Aries, like, they could have all of these feelings that they're internally feeling, but when they speak it out, it'll just be like one sentence. That's just the way Aries communicates. They're very bold. They're very, like, strong-headed. They're very just, like, get to the point. Like, every single word they're using, it has a purpose. It holds their intentions in there, so they don't need to add anything else. So when it comes to having, like, this warrior energy on, like, sitting down right now on the benches, like, that's basically what's been going on with Mars being in Aries. It's just been, Aries has been on the bench, Mars has been on the bench. It's like, no, I want you to sit down, think about how you've been playing this game for the past few years. What could you have done better? How can you reevaluate? How can you, you know, change your ways? How, you know, like, it's just a very reflective mode. And then it's about to be told, hey, you're in the game. You know what Aries is gonna do? Is gonna be like, okay, give me the bat, let's go. I have stuff to do. We have to win this. Like, the mindset turns into action. Aries is a cardinal sign, so it's all action. So it's really about understanding that shift is coming. And I do feel like in the next 2 months are going to be a little bit of it's going to be a ride. That's just the way I kind of see it. It's definitely going to be a ride. Oh, Killing Jose said, where do you get this info, girly, so I can source it from time to time? I've been studying astrology since I was like a kid, so a lot of the stuff that I'm like, at this point I feel like I'm my own like book. Like mentally I just have like a bunch of different like of knowledge that I have accumulated. Again, it goes back to that Mars and Sag. So yeah, I can definitely probably like make a separate video on astrology books that I recommend. Let me know if you guys would like to see that in the comments. But yeah, it's just something that I've just studied for literally since I was a kid, literally. And it comes from, I've always loved astrology. My Venus is in Aquarius. Aquarius rules astrology, so I just have a liking to it. I've always just gravitated to it, and I feel like it's easier for me to understand because of that specific placement for me, to be 1000% honest. So let's see what's going on for this week. I'm going to be using the Tim Burton Nightmare Before Christmas tarot deck, by the way, okay, because this is just like one of my favorite decks right now. Bae got it for me, and I just love it. I love Nightmare Before Christmas, and you know, Babe loves night. It's like one of her favorite movies. We love like Tim Burton anything in this house basically. So I'm really excited that I finally got the deck. She like surprised me with it, and it was just like, it was so cute. So yeah, I'm really excited. So we're gonna be using this one for quite a bit of long time. So what do we need to know for this week? What are the energies collectively for this week? Okay. What are the energies collectively for this week? I love the artwork to these two. They did a really, really good job on this. Energy for this week. Okay. Energy for this week. Okay. So bottom of the deck, we have quite a few things. Hold on. And the Empress. Okay. So we have the Queen of Presents, which is a Queen of Pentacles. Okay. Queen of Presents. We have the 10 of Potions, which is the 10 of Cups. Seriously, I love this deck. I love this deck. It's just so darn cute. We have the 2 of Presents, which is the 2 of Pentacles. It's just such a cute deck. It's so cute. We have the 8 of Potions, which is the 8 of Cups. Okay. And we have the Empress. If that's not the non-cutest Empress you've ever seen in a deck. Like literally. she's not that cute, but yeah. But that is the bottom of the deck for this week. And I'm not really surprised that that is the bottom of the deck. Because I do feel like, well, we're gonna get into it right now. So our cards for the week are as follows. The Ace of Needles, which is the Ace of Swords in this deck. Okay. The 3 of Potions, which is the 3 of Cups. And there's 1000% a lot of people still celebrating, and still there's a lot of communication. And I do feel this is a world energy, by the way. There's people around the world that are actually really, really happy about the political change in the United States. And I saw so many, especially on Twitter, I saw so many world leaders come out and be like, congratulations to Joe Biden. We can't wait to work with you. We can't wait to work with you. Everybody had that same intention. We can't wait to work with you. We can't wait to work with, like, it was very, very much like, I need to like work with you. We need to like get to work. We have stuff to work on. I know we have to get back in the Paris climate change agreement. That's going to happen. But there's this energy of still communicating, still trying to keep each other like up, still getting affected by the collective energy. That includes words. Okay. So making sure that you are communicating with your friends and family. You're not distancing yourself. This is not really the time to necessarily do that. I do feel like as we start to inch into having that Jupiter in Aquarius and Saturn Aquarius energy, we'll be having a more social presence within the next upcoming year. So you're going to start seeing that shifting. And so stay close to your family, stay close to your friends, make sure that you're communicating, make sure you're staying up on the news, because there's going to be a lot of things happening that people are going to try to sneak through and think they're being sneaky with, but it's just no. Okay, then we have the Five of Potions. Yeah, the Five of Potions in reverse, which is the Five of Cups in reverse. That's what it looks like. So it's Jack when he's, but it's in reverse. Five of Potions in reverse. And I do feel like this week specifically has been a place. I feel like this week specifically is a very healing week, and it's releasing a lot of that, you know, like that feeling that we were feeling these past couple of years, like where we just been like just slapping yourself in the head like, oh my god, I can't believe this is it. I think people are having a lot more hope, and it kind of reminds me of like when Obama got elected a little bit, and everybody was like, hope, 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 hope for change and hope for this and that. I do feel like because the narrative socially it's getting impacted, and really a lot of what Biden can do right now is communicate with the people, which is what he's been doing. He's holding press conferences, releasing the COVID team, and making sure he's getting doctors in. I think that the media needs to make sure they're staying on the news, and they're trying to keep it together, not giving the wrong person airtime. I 100% think that Trump needs to be completely ignored during this time, unless he's, you know, again, trying to launch the nuclear codes or something. But I feel like a lot of people are actually socially healing right now. And I do feel like, you know how there's the past few years there's been a lot of like family separations because of the politics, and everybody's like, you know, I don't see you as my uncle anymore, I don't see you as my sister anymore, because I can't believe you believe in this stuff, like all this kind of stuff that's been happening. I feel like more people will be coming together, more people will be reaching out, more people will be, you know, releasing a lot of the traumatic events, traumatic experiences that have come to pass, and just that have been weighing down everybody for the past few years. I do see that. We also have the Nine of Presents, which is the Nine of Pentacles here. So I do feel like there is a very strong amount of self-care that's happening. This is very much Virgo energy. We are under a moon in Virgo right now, so still prioritize your self-care, still prioritize your self-love, still prioritize your happiness, your joy, making sure that you're okay, making sure that you're not, you know, in pain, or like if you need help, reaching out to your friends, your loved ones, trying to maintain your sense of self, who you are, who you know yourself to be, like not, you know, what everybody else wants to think or anything like that, just maintaining your wellness. So this week really calls for us to be less judgmental and be more invested within ourselves, which is a big one. And if you have been kind of ignoring yourself or putting yourself on a back burner and getting overwhelmed with certain things, you're gonna have to bring it back to you. Venus is still again in Libra. Libra is all about the balance, especially on the emotional, the physical, the spiritual. So maintaining your own spiritual balance, making sure that you're good, you're not, you know, overwhelmed, struggling, frustrated, because that ultimately can be really, I feel like it can take your body back. It can really put you in a place where you don't even know why you're feeling the way you're feeling. So it can be really hard on the spirit, hard on the body. So make sure you're doing what's best for you during this time, 1000%. The next one is the Page of Candles. Okay, this is the Page of Wands, and I do feel like we are, especially as we get closer and closer to the new moon in Scorpio, because the last card is death. Okay, we are about to kind of fully go into full mode transitioning of the energy, where we are actively letting go a lot of the social trauma that we have been feeling, a lot of the baggages that we have been feeling. I feel like there are people who have been going through a lot of emotional situations, especially with relationships. I've done quite a bit of readings this week where it's just been like, I'm having relationship problems. This is breaking down. This happened. Under Venus and Libra, we do, especially because Libra rules partnership, marriage, on a longer term. We have to make sure that we are releasing anything that's not going to benefit our longer term relationship goals, our longer term relationship like healing energy, and making sure that we are stable, that we are emotionally good, that we're not struggling, we're not in pain, um we're not feeling like we need to do, we need to give more of ourselves, but more that we need to come back more to ourselves more than anything else. I feel like right now is a time to be whole, and time to really like say, okay, yeah, I went through some stuff the past few years. Yeah, there was like, some things that hurt. There were some things that didn't feel so good. There were some words that were said. There was things that were, put against me. But I am about to go on this new journey. I'm about to take this new journey. The energy is about to shift, and I'm going to be able to heal through this and, really change the narrative of what has come to pass in my life, in a more progressive way. And this is why the bottom of the deck is the way it is, because ultimately we're coming back to that Empress energy. We're coming back to that Empress energy, and we're seeking that Ten of Cups. We're seeking that emotional happiness, that emotional happy ever after, that emotional satisfaction, where we have ourselves together, we're grounded, we're at this Queen of Pentacles energy, and we're not frustrated, we're in balance. We're just straight up in balance. That's why the Two of Pentacles came out in the bottom of the deck. We're straight up in balance. We've let go of the things, the Eight of Potions, that we needed to let go. We released, we did ask the Phoenix and moved on, and we tapped into that Venus energy and came back to ourselves, to our pleasure, to our love, to our money, to our to our best selves. Ultimately, it's really about coming back to our best selves, coming back and connecting to your higher self, being your most aligned with yourself, not being, like, not dismissing who you are, who you need to be, who you want to be in life, but really coming back to yourself and say, hey, me, I love you. I thank me for everything that I've gone through. I appreciate every choice I made. I apologize to myself, and I release anything that wasn't meant for me. Like, really having those conversations with yourself and going through that death and transformation process, because this is the time. Scorpio season is the time to release it. It's a time to shift that narrative within ourselves. And I feel like Scorpio season has been a ride. Did y'all not realize that we elected a Scorpio as president? Because Biden's a Scorpio, and the funny part about it is that Hillary is a Scorpio too, and it's like a Scorpio had to go again to be like, no, we need to transform this. No, the energy of transformation and death, we need to bring death to the White House. We need to bring death to the government. We need to release a lot of this stuff. Things gotta change. We can't keep this stuff the same no more. We have to change, because if we don't, we get somebody like Trump. We have to evolve, because if we don't, we get somebody like Trump. Sometimes it really takes a Scorpio to bring healing and change into perspective of what needs to happen. And I do feel like death is on blast right now. Death is really on blast right now. And it's a necessary process though, 1000%. What do we need to know for the that done just hopped right in my face. So the first one that came out was generosity and good luck. And then we have patience and harmony. Okay, generosity and good luck, and patience and harmony. Again, this is what I'm saying about that Venus being in Libra and Mercury being in Libra. You need to get yourself balanced internally. You need to really sit down with yourself, have those conversations, especially if they're tougher conversations. Sometimes you have to understand that, and I do feel like this applies to everybody, but some people have a harder time doing this, but sometimes you have to be your own psychologist. I fully 1000% advocate for you being your own healing source, for you sitting down with yourself and saying, okay, so what's wrong? How do I really feel? What is actually the root of the problem? Why am I still upset about this? Why am I still carrying this? Why is this bothering me? Like, I 1000% advocate for actually sitting down with yourself and being your own therapist and having conversations with yourself and letting yourself be illuminated by the answers that you give versus waiting for somebody else to come in and say, oh, well, this is how you're feeling. No, you can do that on your damn self. You can do that your damn self. You can literally sit down, have a conversation and say, hey, this is what's going on with me. This is why I feel blocked. This is why I feel messed up. This is why I feel like I'm still in pain. I'm still holding on to what my ex said to me. It still bothered me the way he went around about that. Like, it still bothered me the way she, you know, kind of just started walking away and started acting funny or started being funny. I feel like I wanted a heads up. I feel like I wanted more. Like, all of the things, all of these type of issues that you have, that you're almost afraid to admit that you have, because there is also this kind of shaming that happens when it comes to emotions. It happens to men a lot, and it also happens to women, because women get shamed for having emotions like every day of the week, every day of the day, every day. But it happens to men a lot as well. And it's like, humans shame humans for having emotions. Humans shame humans for, you know, thinking and having any type of feeling of the day, and just, you know, feeling weird or reacting funny or trying to process their own feelings about stuff, and then they get shamed. Like, how could you not know? How could you not? Like, I want the answer now. Like, demanding stuff from others when they're still trying to sort themselves out. There's like a lot of pressure that we put on each other to do things the way that somebody else has figured out that they already want to do. Granted, there are a lot of people who are very socially intuitive, like Scorpio would be one of them. Scorpio is one of those signs that the reason why they manipulate very well is because they already can see the end goal of it. So they can see, oh, well, you know what, maybe if I push you in this direction, you'll actually, you know, not only will you do what I want, but you actually do the thing that you actually should be doing anyway. So Scorpio gets a bad rap for manipulation, but it's honestly not always a bad thing. I do feel like it just needs to be done on a personal level. You need to sit down and manipulate yourself into having a deeper conversation with yourself, a deeper, meaningful conversation with yourself, where you're honest, where you're allowing yourself to cry right there and there with yourself. Nobody else needs to be there. You just hold space for yourself, just as how we hold space for spirit, just as how we hold space for our ancestors, just as how we hold space. You don't think they went through stuff too? Shoot, you can even call down your ancestors and say, hey, you know, if there's any of y'all that's been like have went through the same thing that I'm going through, can you just be here with me during this time? I'm gonna try to do this with myself, and I just want to allow myself to be honest. So please help me feel supported. You can literally pray and ask for that assistance to come. It doesn't need to be complicated. It doesn't have to be made harder. It doesn't. You don't need to do a full blown, you know, I'm in a straight up black veil ritual or something to heal, to let go, to release, to use Scorpio energy correctly, and not letting it, you know, really tumble you over underneath the water, because that's really the way it can be. You can wait till the wave hits you and then you're just like rolling in the sands like a crazy person. Or you can say, you know what, I'm gonna sit down and have a conversation with myself, because I have to change a couple of things. I haven't been at my best and I need to get back to my best. And I have to sit down with myself, have that conversation, so that I can make that happen, because right now it's just not happening. It hasn't been happening, and I have to be honest. I have to get back in that peace and harmony. Okay? And what happens when you are in that balanced energy? What happens when you're balanced? You come back to that good luck energy, because Venus is still all about pleasure. You have to understand, when you work with the sign that Venus is in at the time, you have to understand that the whole point of you working with that sign is to then come back to that Venus energy. So once you got yourself balanced, you're good, you're feeling way more in alignment with yourself, that's when money, luck, opportunity starts coming in. That's when the love starts flowing, because you are then balanced. So that's the way that you really should look at working with the planetary energies, especially Venus, because Venus will always come back to the, oh, you good now? We can party now. It's like, if you're not in a good mood, you're not gonna want to go outside and party. But if you're in a good mood, you got yourself good, and you dress, you look cute, you feeling cute, then we could go party. That's really literally Venus's energy. It's like, okay, once you sorted, we can go do something about this, but not before. Not before. Not before. Not before. It's just not gonna happen before. So Archangel Raphael's 2 cards for this week. The first one is change physicians. Dear Archangel Raphael, thank you for leading me to the best healer for this situation. So if you need someone who specifically who just you need to get any type of healing from or information from or knowledge from, or just using their intuitive gifts, getting Reiki, sound healing, whatever modality you feel like you're getting gravitated toward right now, and if you don't know which one, ask Spirit, please guide me to how should I address XYB issue in my life so that I can best heal myself during this time. It's all about intention. It's all about prayer. Again, that Ace of Swords, it's all about what we're intending, what we're speaking into existence. It's all about that. So asking for the help, asking for that assistance. And you can ask Archangel Raphael, like, hey, Archangel Raphael, I'm praying for healing. I'm praying to be relieved of this burden. I'm praying to be elevated. I'm praying to be balanced. Please help me and guide me to the best place or the best person that can maybe assist me, or please guide me in doing it myself. And you will have that. You will have that healing come to you 1000%. The next one is expect a miracle. Okay? Expect a miracle. And it says, Dear God and Archangel Raphael, thank you for your miraculous intervention and healing energy, which has restored the health of, and then it says the name of a person. So unless that is yourself. So if you have been praying specifically for somebody else this particular week, then, or if you've just been praying for yourself and you've just been waiting for something just to have that breakthrough, definitely expect a miracle, because I do feel like it will come in the most randomest times, which is usually how spirit works anyway. It's like, okay, we know you keep asking for this, but you also have to understand that we're timing this at the right time for you to be able to receive it at the same time. Archangel Michael, what do we need to know for this week? What do we need to know? All right, he said 3 cards today, so that's what we're gonna do. So the first one is, it's time to leave this unhealthy situation. Okay, it's time to leave this unhealthy situation. And the prayer goes, and by the way, you can use all of these prayers while you're working with Archangel Michael, of course. The prayer goes, Archangel Michael, what parts of my life do I need to focus on more closely right now? Thank you for helping me hear your answers and for giving me the courage to make healthy changes in my life. So for some of y'all, okay, the card fell, so I'm gonna pick it up later. But for some of y'all, you guys actually actively need to go through that Scorpio releasing part of the season. You know, that's that thing that happens. You guys actually need to go through that process. You guys actually have some, unburdening to do. What are you not willing to carry on into 2021? What do you not want to carry on into 2021? Like, what are you doing? What are you not going to carry? That's really the question when it comes to moving through the rest of the year. You need to have a game plan, because 2021 is going to look different than 2020. It just is. Just trust and believe that it is. And so what is your game plan? What are you doing? What are you still taking with you? Are you still going to be bitter? Are you still going to be mad? Are you still going to, give time to this person that doesn't care about you? Like, what are you doing about that? And that is a question that you need to answer for yourself. The next one is, take your time making this decision. And the prayer goes, Archangel Michael, please help me stay strong and relax as I approach the situation. Remind me to detach and step back, allowing the situation to naturally unfold. Thank you for protecting me. Okay? Take time in making this decision for this week, and that is the prayer. And I do feel like this week, honestly, because we're getting this Ace of Swords coming right off the bat, I do feel like your words and the things that we're saying and speaking into existence, especially because Mercury is also in Libra right now, it's a really powerful time to have a lot of intention with our words, because Mercury's in a cardinal sign. Libra is a cardinal sign. It is a firehouse sign. It is like a movement sign. It is the fastest moving air cardinal sign because it's an air sign. Even faster, honestly, even faster than Aries. try me. Air moves faster than fire. I don't care what you say. So intention and what you're saying, what you're speaking, and the decisions that you're making have a huge impact on how you move forward, how you navigate through the rest of your year, what your mentality is, what really your whole entire state of mind surrounding every single issue, whether it be your love life, your spiritual life, you feeling like you're lacking something, or you need direction or a sense of like all of these things. It's all about sitting down with yourself, and again, it's like holding a therapy session. Like, really sit down and like, hey, I need to talk, I need to sit down and talk to myself. I really do, because I don't feel like I'm in the place that I need to be. So I need to sit down and have this conversation with myself. The next one is ask Archangel Michael to help you with the situation. Okay, so some of you guys just need to pray. And the prayer goes, dear Archangel Michael, thank you for assisting me with, and then it says describe the situation. Please help me be filled with faith and peace at all times. So some of you guys need to pray on the issues that you're having, because honestly, it might not be as I feel like for some of the issues that you guys are having, it could be a little bit more easily resolved if you ask spirit to assist you during this time, instead of trying to, you know, sit in a corner and not actually actively do anything about it, or feel like you don't have an avenue out of it. You can ask for assistance, and I always say this in the lives, you guys can ask for help from spirit at any point in time. You can ask your ancestors to assist you, you can ask spirit to assist you at any time. You don't have to feel like you're alone in any of this. You just need to make sure that you're holding space for them and saying, hey, can you guys be here with me? Not just doing things by yourself, and just, if you guys need assistance, have that support there. So you're not doing things by yourself. So make sure you're working with the angelic forces, 1000%. What are the planetary energies affecting us this week? What are the planetary energies affecting us this week? Okay, so of course it is. So the first one is going to be Jupiter. Okay, Jupiter, I'm not surprised about this, because we got the seahorse, which is generosity and good luck. So I'm not surprised about this. So make sure you're looking at your transits for Jupiter. Also, we got Scorpio and water. So make sure you go watch the new moon in Scorpio breakdown that I did on the YouTube, so you get the information for it. But make sure you're also looking at your Scorpio transits, because again, Scorpio rules death, and we did get that in our tarot. Okay, that came up. That was the last card on here. Death is taking a really, really big presence this week for what we need to heal, for what we need to do, and how we move forward now. So make sure that you are ready to go through that transformation process. Don't think it's over. We're constantly evolving creatures. Okay, so that is the weekly healing circle for this week. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I'm going to go ahead and sign off, because I'm still uploading readings, so I'm going to still be emailing them out tonight. I will definitely see you guys in the next video. Definitely don't forget to check out the Patreon. The link will be down below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Have a beautiful day. Bye. Bye, Instagram. Bye, guys.